Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope that everybody is off to a great starting a year. I know I have been missing in action uh, since the first. I took some time to spend with the family. I ended the year on a very powerful and positive note, and I decided to take a couple of days to myself. And obviously, that means with the family. As you can see, I'm in the home office. Um, didn't go into the office today. I'll probably get in there tomorrow. Um, but I didn't go in today. I'm at the home office, which I don't do a lot because this house stays lit. Uh, no other way to put it. It's what forced me out of my home office back into a commercial office is that this home stays lit, which keeps me alive. Look, I'm not going to be long today. One of the things that I have been very successful at doing over the course of my career as a psychologist, a performance strategist, a life strategist, a life coach, and whatever else you want to label it, is helping people shift paradigms. And if you don't understand what a paradigm is, your life is governed by the lens through which you view life. Your paradigm is basically the lens through which you see life, and it allows you to see how you perceive yourself to be in this world, how you perceive the world influences you, and it's based on your experiences. It's based on the accumulation of ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that govern your overall beliefs about how the world functions and how you operate in it. You make your decisions, you make your moves, you make everything that you do based on these paradigms. If you're not getting the results that you want out of life, it's real simple. It's time for a paradigm shift. What does that mean? You've got to change, intentionally change how you're viewing the world and what you expect from the world and what you see in yourself and what you expect from yourself. One of the things we tend to do is we do a lot of wishing, we do a lot of hoping, we even do a lot of declaring, but we do very little in the way of managing and governing our thought processes, managing and governing our beliefs, being aware of the beliefs that limit how we move. Limiting beliefs are one of the most restrictive forces that exist in when it comes to human performance. You can only operate at the level you expect. You can only operate at the level that you believe you're capable of operating at. That's how we maintain our sanity. That's how we move in life. That's what holds us into the consistency in which we see our lives move. So if you are at a level where you don't believe much, is possible, you will operate consistently at that level and you will consistently get the same results over and over again, despite maybe in somewhere deep inside and internally knowing there's something better. But because you don't possess the right thought processes, because you have not developed a paradigm that says, I can, then you will consistently operate at a level that produces the results you're consistently getting. And this paradigm shift is created through a series of processes in which you engage the current existing beliefs and you replace those beliefs with beliefs that are conducive to producing the results you get. This isn't a throw something out in the air and hope it sticks or hope it swings and flies the way you want to. That's why so many people live highly unproductive lives, is because they think they just go out there and they throw something out, or they even equate, if I just go out and try real hard. But if you're trying real hard with a belief that does not have the capacity of producing the result that you desire, you will consistently be disappointed, and eventually you will get to a point where you will stop trying, because there's this thing called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is when you consistently try something over and over and you consistently fail at it. You eventually develop the belief that it's impossible, and so you stop trying and then you move on to something else. And the problem wasn't that it wasn't possible. The problem was you wasn't approaching it with the proper belief system, that you weren't actually focused on producing what you want. Most people literally focus on what they don't want, and then they're upset with the results they get. You get what you focus on. Whatever you focus on, you feel. So how do you change it? You change it by literally governing and managing and monitoring your thoughts, governing and managing and monitoring your speech, governing and monitoring and managing the things that you allow to come inside of your gates, your eyes and your ears? What are you listening to on the regular basis? What are you seeing on a regular basis? Who do you have in your circle? What are they saying consistently and constantly in your ear that your subconscious is downloading and processing and categorizing and either reinforcing an existing belief or developing a new belief? You have to be very aware of what program you're running. And if the program you're running isn't serving you to your best interest, then you have to sit up and say, I need to download a new program. And so what that means, I need to start reading books that are conducive to what I have. I need to start training my mind to respond to negative stimuli in the right way, because things are going to happen. You're not going to get through life and not have things that come into your world in are negative, and you're going to lose someone eventually in your life. You're going to have relationships that don't turn out the way you want them to. You're going to have ups and downs. If you're running a business, trust me, you're going to have great moments. You're going to have not so great moments. It's a part of the process. It's a part of growth. It's a part of learning. Whether you're a writer, whether you are an engineer, whether you are a new business owner, whether you are an investor, no matter what it is, there is simply going to be times it's not right. But how do you confront it? How do you deal with it? What are you doing when this negative information or this negative situation presents itself? See, some people become victims in the presence of adversity. Some people become the singers of the "Oh Woe It's Me" song. Other people sit up and they see the challenge and they take on the challenge and they make up in their minds that no matter what happens, I'm going to win. No matter what happens, I'm going to. But there's a paradigm that governs how you do this. It's not, I'm going to sit up and today I'm going to decide that I'm not going to be a victim. Yeah, there's a decision that you make, but there's a process you must go through. Yeah, there's an initial decision where I'm tired of being the victim. What are you going to do about it? Now I have to shift paradigms. Now I have to change. Now I have to go through the process of becoming better. I have to go through the process of actually developing confidence. I have to go through the process of actually thinking like a winner. Because as a man thinks, so is he. And there's a lot of process that goes off into that one truth is, as I think, okay, but there's a lot that happens in your thought processes that govern your reality. There's a lot that happens in your thought processes that are a part of the development of your mental and societal and social paradigms, the things that literally are going to determine how you feel about a certain situation and how you feel about it and how you're going to move on it. What are you doing differently that will coincide with the different results that you've decided you want? If you want something different, you have to do different. You have to think different. You have to talk different. You have to behave different. Most importantly, you have to make instinctive decisions that are different than the ones you made in the past. And those instinctive decisions are based uh, solely on the subconscious and the program that the subconscious is running. That's your paradigm. That's how you see life. That's how you view life. That's how you respond to adversity. That's how you respond to positive stimuli. It's based on this paradigm. If you're not getting the results you need, you're going to have to shift paradigms. Years ago, I created a course called The Power of Paradigms. I created actually two. I created a basic course that people could just grab and run with it on their own time. Then I created an advanced course in which they had all of the tools in front of them, but I walked them through it step by step and got them to the point they needed to be. In other words, you can sit up and say all day what you want. You can sit up and say all day, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But if you don't shift paradigms, you'll do what you're doing every year. Same New Year's resolution, same results. Why? You didn't shift paradigms. You came up with something that you wanted different, but you didn't shift paradigms. See, I can't get something different by simply saying I want something. If you don't get what you want, you get who you are. You get how you engage life. So if I am still operating on a poor paradigm, I'm going to get poor results. It's that simple. And someone contacted me actually over the weekend because they were serious about making a move, and it had absolutely everything to do with a paradigm shift. And they got in touch with me on a time that I really wasn't taking calls, but it was someone I knew. And this is the second person I've actually talked to about making paradigm shifts. Now, the program is one of my older programs. I've created it and I've tweaked it along the way. And I'm always doing new things to get in touch and stay in touch with people, because my goal for my companies this year is to positively impact 1 million people. Obviously, I'm not going to do that on a one-on-one basis, so I'm going to have to do it in a number of different ways: through lectures, through videos, through books, through programs and services where I'm literally offering those services to multiple people simultaneously in a bunch of other different ways. So I'm always looking for ways to do that, because that's my goal. This year, it's 1 million people, and that's what I'm focused on. That's what we are going to do at Rick Wallace Enterprises, which includes the Visionetics Institute, Master Fitness 21, the Odyssey Media Group, Myriad Business Solutions, and others. Look, let me tell you something. There's absolutely nobody that's watching this video that can't win. It is not it does not matter where you started. It does not matter what you've been through. It does not matter how poorly you have fared in the past. What matters is that you find the right mindset, you find the right thinking, you start to see things differently, you put yourself in the right spaces. Some of you are hanging around the wrong people, some of you are listening to the wrong people, some of you are listening to yourself, and you are talking poorly about yourself, and that is manifesting in your subconscious, and it is creating a paradigm that does not work for you. You need to learn how to change it. You need to learn how to recognize poor self-talk. You need to learn how to recognize the people who are in your circle who need to change. Now, the one of the toughest things that I had to learn, I had to learn how to purge my periphery. And people say, what do you mean? I say, I had to literally clean out my circle. I had to learn that I had to be extremely intentional on the people I allowed in my circle. See, there had to be a certain amount of people who had excelled in the areas that I intend to excel in, meaning people who are doing better than me, people who I can look at and see patterns of success, people who I can study, people who I can consult, people who I can look at every day when things get tough and say they made it, I can make it too. And then there had to be another group of people in my circle who are pretty much my peers, right around the same place I am, doing whatever, wherever I'm at that time in my life, that's where they're at. So they're doing exceptionally. If they're where I'm at right now, they're doing pretty good in life. They've done some things, they got a bunch of accomplishments behind them, but they look at themselves in the mirror every morning and know we're not done yet. And so I need some not done yet people in my circle, because we're the ones that are going to push one another, hold one another accountable, speak positively to one another, encourage one another, but not let any one of the people in the circle fall victim to complacency. So you're not going to get to skate and scoot and coast not around me. And then there are going to be a couple of people that are going to be those who are aspiring to be where we're at and go where we're going, but not quite there yet. And then we're going to use the force of pull to pull them along. Why? Because they're the people we're going to pour into. They're the people that we're going to inspire. Those are the people that are going to create the energy behind us that draft other people behind us that we never meet. That's another way you touch lives. That's another way you infect lives. That's another way that you become contagious in your success, by touching people in a way that makes them powerful enough to touch others. But that's the circle. The circle can't have a bunch of people. Let me tell you something. I told people to do this last week. If you want to see some immediate change in your life, two things. Real easy, two things. Now, let me take it back. Real simple, not necessarily easy. Two things. Find someone that's highly competent at a level that you're not competent at. Find somebody that they're positive, they speak positive, they talk positive. Everything about them is inspiring and encouraging. People love to flock around them, and people reach out to them. Find somebody like that and become acquainted with them. Now, this person may be someone you know, it may be a friend of a friend, it may be a paid specialist, but what you need is a person that's done some things you want to do, and you got to put yourself in that person's specific, and you got to invest yourself in a way that it happens. It's real simple. I've done it before. There are people that I literally paid to be a part of what they were doing because I need to learn from them. And I didn't see a problem with that. A lot of people is, if I can't get you to mentor me for free, then I don't want to deal with it. It's great to have free mentors. I've had them, but I've had way more paid mentors than I had free mentors. Why? When I pay you, I can expect your time. I've actually taken a space in your life and paid for it. So now what I'm asking of you, I've actually paid for. So I have an investment in you giving me what I need instead of hoping that you give it or whatever. And even when I've had mentors that were mentoring me, quote unquote, for free, they really weren't. Why? Because I was bringing something to the table. I was always reciprocating in some way. They were giving to me, but I was giving to them. I was making myself valuable to them so that it was worthwhile to have me around. You got to understand that this game isn't about receiving as much as it is about giving. It's about giving, it's about investing, it's about having a space in this world. But let me tell you something. You build paradigms by having nothing but the right energy, right information, right data around you consistently, because you're going to be hit with stuff you don't control. There are going to be some things that come in your life that you absolutely do not have control of. That's life. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to believe in you. Not everybody's going to sit up there and say, oh, go, you awesome, awesome, awesome. That's not going to always be the case. So who you have around you is going to determine how hard that hits you. When somebody slaps you with, you know, that idea sucks. It's not going to work. You better have somebody behind you, man. Say, man, you've done this before. Man, you can do this. I believe in you. And it doesn't mean that it's easy. No, and it's a difference between having somebody positive, encouraging, and having somebody who's a yes man. Anybody that knows me knew I never had yes men around me. I don't like people who tell me that I'm right just because they want to be around, or just because I'm the popular person to be around at the time. And there are some times that it was really extremely popular. I was that dude. And I didn't want yes men around me. Why? Because yes men will cause you to crash quicker than anybody else, because they'll see that, hey, man, that probably is not a good idea, but I'm not going to be the one to tell him. I'm not going to be the one to tick him off. No, 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 no. I want people that are going to fan my flames, but also point to the wall that I'm headed towards. It's so important to get what you are trying to get in the periphery that you create. You're born with a circle. You don't get That's your inherited circle. You don't get to choose it. It comes with normally a mom, a dad, some grandparents, some cousins, some siblings, and your classmates at school. And you don't get to pick it. You're born into it. But the older you get, the more influence you have on who's in your circle. You get to decide who you spend your time around. And you're going to become the average of the people you spend your time around the most. Well, if I'm going to be the average of the people I spend my time around, guess what? I can't have a whole bunch of people around me that's doing what I'm doing or less. Why? Because that means I can only be where I'm at, or I can go backwards. So if I'm going to ascend, there got to be some people that are doing better than me. Whether it's finance, whether it's relationship, whether it's business, whether it's investing, whatever it is, you've got to have people around you that are better at what you're doing than you are, and have done things that you haven't done. That's just simply how it is. Look, I want to get off here because, when I've gone this long without talking, I'll talk because I got a lot pinned up in me. I could go a lot more than what I go every day, but I have work to do. I have clients I have to actually work with. So that's the thing. So look, here it is. If you're real serious about changing, I have a link to the Power of Paradigms course, Breaking the Curse of Poor Performance, Breaking the Curse of Procrastination, break a whole bunch of things that you're doing right now. It's because you have a poor paradigm that does not work or is not conducive to achieving the things you want to achieve. I have it in there. What I love about the advanced course is you're not just working this course on your own. This is a self-paced course, but you're not working it on. You got me right there, step by step of the way. It's probably one of the least expensive ways for the totality of the course to have me in front of you. Those who know who've worked with me in the past know that I'm not the least expensive person in the world, and there's a reason for that. I'm worth every second that you spend with me, and my value is non-negotiable. I work with people on exception based on situation, but I know what I'm worth. What I'm saying is, if you're ready to make a change, if you're ready for a paradigm shift, there is a link in the box for you to sign up right now, and we can schedule the process of getting this off the way. This is not an overnight thing. This paradigm course will probably take you a month, maybe a little longer. But what I can tell you is, if you follow it, if you're consistent with it, you will experience change. You will experience power. You will experience growth. You will see things different. Your stress levels will decline. Your anxiety levels will decline. Your fear will decline. A bunch of things that you are dealing with on the negative end will completely diminish. Why? Because the paradigm is the lens through which you're looking that's creating all of that. Right now, fear and anger and all that stuff comes from the belief that you can't change it. You never are upset about something you can change. You're never worried about something you can change. You're never anxious about something you can change. You're never anxious about something you're going through. You're never fearful about something you can change. So when you're having fear attacks, you're having anxiety attacks, you're having worry and stress and all those things that literally will kill you physically, it's because somewhere deep down inside, there's this belief that I don't have any power, that I can't do anything about it. I'm just stuck right here. Well, I'm telling you, you're not stuck. I'm telling you that there's something inside of you that's so great, so powerful, so unstoppable that when you start to learn how to activate it, when you start to learn how to use it, when you start to learn how to walk in it, that literally makes you unstoppable. You're going to start to do some things you never thought possible. I didn't set out to write 25 books. I didn't set out to sit up and make a direct onslaught on academia. I didn't set out to sit up and start 47 companies and be successful in all 47. I set out to just say, I'm not going to settle in life. That was my thing. I'm not going to settle in life. I'm not going to take what life hands me and be thankful. I'm not going to go out and beg somebody for an opportunity. I'm going to go out and create it. And what I found is that the more I applied myself, the more I believed in myself, the more I was able to do. And then I said, man, I can help people change their lives. I'm not going to hold this to myself. And so I immersed myself into the world of psychology, in the world of human performance, in the world of human change. And I start to master things like neuro-linguistic programming, psycho-cybernetics, psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, neuroassociative conditioning. And I just went down the line. Every time I got something and I nailed it, next thing up. Why? Because I wanted to be able to touch a person's life and not miss anything, to be able to have as many tools as possible to help people achieve the things that they wanted to achieve. And so what I do, I read. I'm going to tell you something that most people don't believe. From 2004 to right now, I read 100 books plus a year. Why? Because it's growth, it's process. The only person I have in this world that I compete against is myself. Well, how do you compete? I compete against the person that went to sleep last night. Today, the person that I'm competing against is the person that went to sleep last night. Why? Because I have to end the day better than that person. I'm not competing against anyone else. That's why I can have so many people in my periphery that are striving. Why? Because I'm never in competition with them. When I'm not in competition with them, I don't mind sharing with them. When I'm not in competition with them, I give them everything I got. Why? Because I'm not competing with them. I want them to win. Matter of fact, I want them to do better in life than I did. I have no problem with somebody surpassing me. That's awesome. That's the thing. That's awesome. Having somebody surpass you, that you touch their life, should be something you celebrate, not be afraid of. But the reason I can do that is because I'm not in competition with anybody in my life, with no other person out there. There's nobody I see, nobody I study, nobody I read that I'm in competition with. You know who I'm in competition with? The guy who went to sleep last night. See, when I go to sleep tonight, I got to be better than him. That's why I read. Why? Because if I read and I learn something new, I'm better than the guy yesterday. If I practice something and I become better at it, I'm better than the guy yesterday. Why? Because if I do that consistently every day, I will never wake up at the end of the year of any given year and be the guy who entered that year. I'm going to always have advanced each and every year of my life, no matter how hard that year was. And I've had some hard years, but you know what? I ended the year better than when I started. Why? Because I intentionally invested myself in becoming something better. Look, if you're really serious about change, and you're going to have to be serious, only the serious need to even click the link. But if you're serious, let's make it happen. I'm excited. Like I said, I got 1 million people lives to touch, so I'm going to be coming hard. I am going to be coming hard, and I hope you're going to be going hard. You do not have to leave 2020. And see, the whole thing is don't procrastinate. Don't think it's the beginning of the year. I got all the time now. See, how you start this year has a massive impact on how you're going to finish. It's no different in your day. You wake up in the day, you got 12, 14 hours before you have to hit the bed again. Maybe in my case, 16 plus before you hit that bed again. So you said, I got plenty of time now. You know when I go the hardest? The beginning of the day. I wake up those first 5 hours from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, hard in the paint. I get more done in that time probably than I get done the rest of the day, because then I start fielding problems and putting out fires and getting phone calls about. And so then it's about managing the day. But the first 5 hours is about doing things that haven't been done and need to be done. And that's it. Same thing with your year. That this first couple of months will have a massive impact on how the rest of the year goes. Things are going to happen in the year. You want momentum built when they happen. On that note, look, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. So it's all up to you. Either you're going to do something and make changes, or you're going to keep complaining about what you don't like, but keep experiencing it because you won't do anything about it. It's that simple. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable rest of the day and week.